welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I want to talk about confidence, and not just confidence, but unshakable confidence. This was a comment on my Facebook page. I had asked people, what is it that you want or need right now? And one of my friends, Lisa, commented and said, unshakable confidence. And it really made me think about a lot. Like, how did I become so confident to where I am today, where I could just post videos now and not be terrified and just say what it is that I want to say, or publish my book that has a lot of deep, dark secrets that I never shared with anybody before. You have to have a sense of confidence to do those things. And when she said unshakable confidence, something in me really struck. And I really was touched by that, and I felt something with that, and I did reach out to Lisa, and I'm gonna do a little project with her soon. She did agree to do that, but I did want to make a video today going over a little bit of what I can help you with that confidence within, and how you can start taking the steps to be more confident in who you are or what it is that you want to do. So what I did is I wrote down a little activity for you, and I would really love it if you actually sat down and did the activity with me, because I think you're going to see the most benefits if you actually do this with me. So I need you to get a pen and paper, pause the video, whatever you have to do, get a pen and paper so you can write down the things that we're going to talk about. Okay, great. I want you to list down 5 things that you can do that are skills. Can be anything at all. It could be making a cake, driving a car, tying your shoes. It could be changing a diaper, riding a bike, anything at all. Just any 5 skills that you have today. So go ahead and write those down. Okay, now what I want you to do is pick one of those skills that you have, and this is what I want you to think about now next, okay? So for me, I'm gonna pick driving a car, right? It's just an example that I can do and that I'm gonna talk about, okay? So the first one, or the one that you pick, I want you to think about who taught you how to do that thing, okay? So for me, I chose driving. Who taught me how to drive? Well, I have my parents that taught me how to drive. I have the drive instructor, my brother. So a couple of different people had showed me that skill when I was learning it at the time. I didn't just have one person, I had a couple, okay? So think about it. Who taught you the skill that you are thinking about right now? Okay, is it more than one person? Is it several people? Whatever it may be, think about that, okay? Now, I want you to think about, how did that person or those people treat you while you were being taught this skill? What was their tone of voice? How did they teach you? Was it visually? Was it tactile? Did you have to watch a video? Did they explain it verbally to you? Did you sit down and take a test? Did you have to use your hands? Like, all the things. Think about how that person taught you to do those things. What was their tone of voice? What kind of environment were you in? How often did they teach you? Was it once a day, every day, only for 6 weeks? What was the time frame like? Like, how long did it take you to learn the skill from that person? Think about all those things, okay? The next thing I really want you to dive down deep is, how long did it take you to learn that skill? Like we just talked about, right? So did you learn it the first day? Was it like something that just you needed a couple of tries and then you were good? Was it something that took maybe a few days or a few weeks, maybe even a few months or years, depending on what the skill is? It took some amount of time. So what amount of time was it for you? Was it just a few hours, or was it a few months? Like, what, or anything in between, right? What was it? How long did it take? Now, this skill that you use, is it something that you like? Or did you just have to learn it because it's a part of life and you don't really like it, but you have to do it, right? Maybe something like brushing your teeth. Like, I don't know, maybe some people really do like that. Maybe some people don't like that, but it's kind of a skill that you have to do, right? Because it's personal hygiene, and if you don't, there can be severe consequences. So think about that part of the skill. Is it something that you really like, or is it just something you have to do? Or, why did you have to learn that skill, or why did you learn that skill? And the last thing I want you to think about is, with this skill now that you have, do you feel like you could teach somebody this skill? Is this something you'd pass down to your kids or a neighbor or a friend or a family member? Like, do you feel like you know enough about that skill to go ahead now and pass it on to somebody else and teach them how to do it? Okay, now, with all of the things that we just talked about, I want you to focus in on your skill, but I'm going to talk about mine just so you can see what I'm trying to get at here. So driving, right? My skill I chose was driving. Driving is something that I wanted to do. I could not wait for the freedom and independence to get out and drive myself places and be able to go wherever I wanted to go, whenever I wanted to get there. And so I had to wait to learn this skill, right? Because you can only drive at a certain point, depending on where you live. For me, I think I was like 15 and a half when I started, getting my learner's permit and learning from my family and going through the whole driving school and doing all the things. Like, I wanted to learn immediately. I could not wait to learn the skill. Now, I will say while I was learning the skill, it was kind of hard, like harder than I expected. I was very nervous behind the wheel right away because it's like a large vehicle and you are not just driving on the road by yourself, right? You have to be careful about everyone else that's out there driving. So even though you may feel confident in your own skin about your skills, it's really hard because there's a bunch of other people out there that you have to be aware of, right? Or there's like random kids that could run in the street or animals or whatever. There's a whole bunch of factors. But I wanted to learn so badly. I didn't let that stop me. I just had to pay more close attention and I really had to work at that skill. And now for driving, even to get your official driver's license to drive on your own, it can take about a year and a half. Really, it kind of just depends on where you live. I'm going to say probably at least a year, maybe a little bit more, because I had to get my permit and then I had to get my license. So it probably took a little bit of time. But then after I learned that skill, I was elated because now I could go off and do whatever I wanted to do. I could escape. I could go to work. I could drive myself to school. I could drive myself to my friends' houses, my family members, whatever I wanted to do. I was free and I was on my own. I was so excited. So think about your skill. Why did you learn it? How long did it take? And how do you feel now, right? So think about whatever it is that maybe you want to feel more confident in. It can't just be confidence overall. That is too broad. You have to think about confidence in a way of a specific skill set, and then that confidence can overflow into other things. But I'm going to guess something about Lisa. I'm not 100% sure, but I've talked to her a few here and there. And Lisa and I are both female entrepreneurs, and we love to be able to have the freedom to have our own business and do our own thing and make our own income and financial flexibility, all the things. And so I'm going to guess maybe Lisa's struggling right now with, let's just pretend it's going live or making videos and sharing about her business. Let's just pretend. I don't know if that's Lisa's thing, but that's what we're going to go for. So what I would say to Lisa or anybody that's maybe struggling making YouTube videos or going live or being on TikTok or any kind of visual thing where someone's going to watch you talking to a camera just like I'm doing to you right now, how can you go ahead and get the confidence to go ahead and do that? Well, let me tell you, it took me a long time to actually feel comfortable doing this and just putting it out there and not worrying anymore. But how did I get to this point? How did I grow that confidence? Well, let's use the example of tying your shoes, right? If you want to be able to wear shoes that have laces, you have to figure out how to tie your shoes. You have to. Sure, you can cut around the edges, maybe just tuck your laces in, but your shoes aren't going to be tight. So if you have to run, you have the chance of tripping or falling, your shoes falling off or running out of them. So yeah, sure, you could cut corners and just shove your laces in, but is that ultimately going to help you in the long run? Definitely not. What if you had to run? What if you're trying to run across the street so you don't get hit by a car and then your shoe falls off and then you fall? Right? Like there's a whole list of things. You can always snowball anything into being bigger than it is. So if you want to be able to wear those laces on your shoes, then you have to learn how to do this. And tying your shoes is something that you're going to be able to do every single day. So you're going to practice it every single day. And you're not going to leave your house until you get it just right, until those shoes are tight enough for you to move on and go outside. And guess what? Even then, you still may have somebody that steps on your laces in the middle of the day and they come apart and you're going to have to bend over and tie your shoe again. And you're still going to have moments where you take off your shoes and you're going to have to put them back on, retie tie the laces, double knot them, figure all these different things that you can do to keep those shoes on. But it takes every single day for you to practice. Sure, you can practice for an hour or so every single day and maybe not wear those shoes until you feel really good about it. But either way, it takes time. You can't just put on your shoes and go. It doesn't work like that. So my suggestion for anybody that's struggling with any kind of confidence is the first thing you need to do is set yourself up for success by making that skill something that you do every single day. You have to do that. In addition to that, I would also say that you have to have some kind of accountability. So when you're tying your shoes, you're typically a younger child, right? So you have a parent there or a caregiver that is with you in the moment, and they're teaching you and they're setting it up for you and they're there for you. So there's some level of accountability there. If I'm talking about Lisa's example, let's pretend it's a video, right? She has to have some accountability there. So whether she is sending that video to a friend to look at or in a Facebook group, or she's actually just saying, you know what, I'm going to post it on YouTube and I'm going to share it to the world, or I'm going to post that TikTok, or I'm going to post that story, or whatever it is, there's some level of accountability there. She has to put it out there for other people to see. And that can be scary, especially if you are a perfectionist and you need somebody, or you're somebody that says, well, this has to be perfect, and the lighting, and oh my God, my walls are blank and the shade is open and then my ring light's behind my head. I could pick out all the things that are wrong about this video. Wrong. It does not matter. None of that matters. What matters is that I am posting my message out there for you to see, because I know that it can change somebody's way of thinking, somebody's life completely. And so you have to let go of all those other things to be confident, to gain your confidence in a new skill that you want to have. So my challenge for you today is whatever level of confidence that you're looking for, whatever new skill it is that you want to be confident in, I want you to go ahead and join my Facebook group. It's called Personal Growth with Michelle Mahoney. Post in there or message me privately. It doesn't matter, because as long as there's some accountability there, either message me or post it in the group and say, I want confidence in video making. I want confidence in my Etsy store. I want confidence in making paper airplanes. Like whatever it is, I want confidence in, and then put it in the group. And that group is a safe, supportive place where everyone's going to be there for you, and they'll, cheer you on and give you support and have that accountability. But if you're not going to do these things, your confidence is not going to change. You need to start taking the steps to move on to get to where you want to be. If you're doing the same thing every day and just perseverating on it, but not actually making any changes, nothing is ever going to change. It's just not. So whatever it is that you want to do, you have to start. And I'm recommending start now. I don't care if it's 1 o'clock in the morning, do something towards that goal, something. Even if you only record a 30-second video on your phone and send it to me on Facebook, and just that's your way of videotaping and telling me about yourself, do that. At least it's some kind of level of confidence that you're getting about sending a message like this or sending a video. Or maybe you go ahead and you wake up and get out of your bed and you try to read 10 pages. Even though it's 1 o'clock in the morning and you're tired, you're trying to do it. You have to take steps to build your confidence. It's not going to happen by you sitting there just wanting it and wishing it and praying for it. You have to do things that are going to get you there. So if you have any kind of questions or need any kind of help, please reach out and let me know. Down in the comments down below, say anything. I joined the group, or confidence, or I need help, or just comment down below something so I know that you watched this video and I can reach out to you and we can connect and I can help you with your confidence journey if that's something that you're looking for. And definitely like the video if this was helpful for you. I want to be able to help other people feel more confident in their skin and be able to have a happy, healthy life. So if this is something that you're looking for, definitely let me know. I can definitely post more content about this if this is something that people are interested in. So I hope this video was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.